Hey guys, come on in. Type in freedom now. We're going to have our live Q&A. Today is Monday, September 22nd. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration attorney in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law, where we believe in immigration freedom. So come on in and say hello. Join me today. I have some very important information to share with you during today's show. Come on in. And also, friends, as you're joining, certainly tell me where you're watching from today. Our contact information is on the screen for McBean Law. So you can reach out to us if you have a serious immigration problem that you'd like to discuss with us. We can be reached at 914-898-9488, or you can email us and someone from our team will contact you to book an appointment with us. Come on in, guys. It's great to see you. Hey there, Mary. Nice to see you. Melvis, thank you for being here. Musa. Friends, if you're joining today on Facebook, share this live session right now with your feed. If you're watching on TikTok, TikTok is in the background. Double tap the screen and say hello. Hello, 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 and certainly freedom now. Now, the very first piece of information, guys, that I'd like to discuss with you, this is really important. I'm going to talk with you about a lawsuit, okay? I'm going to talk with you about a lawsuit and how you can get involved in this H1B lawsuit if you're impacted by the proclamation that was issued on Friday by the Trump administration. I'm going to talk with you also about that proclamation, what it means, who it impacts, and share some additional thoughts with you. If you have not seen the reels, the videos I've shared also on social media on Saturday, go back and watch some of those videos as well. It was a crazy weekend. No one got any rest this weekend. Everyone was working because of this debacle. But the most important issue I want to touch on firstly has to do with the lawsuit that's going to be filed against the Trump administration related to this H1B visa, the $100,000 fees, in addition to some additional changes that are being proposed by the proclamation. Okay, last night, very late, almost midnight, I was emailing the lead litigator, the Greg Siskin, on this issue. He sent me some information about the lawsuit that he would like for me to share with you guys today. I told him I will share it. I'm going to share it today on my show. So he sent me some very good information. If you'd like to be part of this lawsuit, this is what you need to understand. They are looking for very specific plaintiffs, okay? Number one, individuals who have not yet had their H-1B petition submitted, such as F1 students on OPT who intend to file an H-1B petition in the upcoming CAP season, J1 physicians in graduate medical training seeking waivers of the 2-year home residency requirement and who are required to work in H1B status following the grant of the waiver. They're also looking for prospective employees or current foreign nationals in lawful status who expect an employer will file an H-1B petition, but who are being discouraged, delayed, or blocked because of the advisory or related policies that have come out. They're also looking for plaintiff employers who file or intend to file an H-1B petition. Um, we're going to put in the chat, we forgot to do this, but we're going to put in the chat the contact information at the firm who you will reach out to by email to help onboard you for this litigation. Okay, I'm going to share that information with my colleague and ask him to place the name and email address. It's Johnna Bailey. And we're going to put this right now in the chat for you so that you guys can reach out to her. Johnna Main Bailey. That's the name, Johnna Main Bailey. We're going to put that information right now in the chat for you guys so that you can reach out to that individual to onboard you. They're looking for employers who file or intend to file H-1B petitions who are facing uncertainty, delay, or extra burdens because of the advisory. Also, if you're an employer who is unsure whether the advisory's presumptions will lead to denials or requests for evidence, or you represent a business or industry that depends on hiring high-skilled foreign nationals. They're also looking for potential plaintiffs who are associations or trade groups whose members include or support any of the above. Employers, prospective employees, and who have been affected or who will be affected by the advisory. For example, professional associations in tech, academia, healthcare, um, etc. Organizations concerned with the rights of international students, immigrants, or foreign national workers. They're looking for other stakeholders who withstanding those who can show they are or will be harmed by the policy. We're talking about financial harm, opportunity cost, reputational harm, etc., due to the extra burdens, delays, or denials imposed by the advisory or related practices. These are the plaintiffs that they're looking for. And I told them that I want to help spread the word to find the right people to be part of this lawsuit. Now, if any of this applies to you and you might be a potential plaintiff, reach out to Johnna Bailey at jmainbailey at visalaw.com. We've put that information in the chat here on YouTube. For TikTok, I'm not sure how we're going to do it. We'll have to find a way. What I might do on TikTok is this. I will send this contact information as a story to TikTok so that you guys will see this a bit later. Okay, so now lawsuit, get involved, guys. If you are a prospective plaintiff, get involved because the more plaintiffs that they can find, the better. Okay. Now, this is the presidential proclamation that was issued on Friday afternoon that created such global chaos and confusion because the proclamation is a travel ban on entry of H-1B holders, and the way that the proclamation is written, it made it crystal clear that this applied to all that this is what the proclamation says, that it applies to all H-1B visa holders. And so companies, lawyers, employees, everyone was panicking, and we're told that folks should not leave the United States. And if you're out of the United States, you should return to America immediately. Before this went into effect yesterday on September 21st. After all of that chaos on Friday and most of Saturday, the administration came out. Okay, the administration came out with a memo. USCIS issued a memo, one-page memo, clarifying or back. They basically they had a lot of pressure. Okay, this is in response to a lot of pressure. They then backtracked a little bit and they said that this new change does not apply to existing H-1B visa holders, and it does not apply to anyone who is seeking an extension of their visa or change of employer. Okay, change of employer, and it doesn't impact those of you seeking renewals. Okay, and also you can travel. You could leave the United States and return without having to pay that $100,000 fee. Um, and I'll pull this up again momentarily, but I want to show you the tweet that Caroline Levitt, the press secretary, issued. To be clear, this is not an annual fee because there's rumors circulating on the internet that this fee will be charged, every year. She says this is not an annual fee. It is a one-time fee to be applied at the time of your petition. Her tweet also says that those who already hold H-1B visas and are currently outside of the United States right now will not be charged $100,000 to re-enter. It also says H-1B visa holders can leave and re-enter the country to the same extent as they normally would. Whatever ability they have to do that is not impacted by yesterday's proclamation, and this only applies to new visas, not renewals, and not current visa holders. And it will apply in the next upcoming lottery cycle. This is the tweet from the White House. Now, this will impact cap exempt cap exempt um, applicants who are filing after September 21st, on or after September 21st, cap exempt, as well as those who will go through the 2026 lottery in March. Okay, this is a big deal, this H-1B problem. Why? Because I had to research this myself before speaking with the media yesterday, because apparently there are, like 730,000 visa holders right now, H-1B. So this is huge, and these individuals are working not only in tech, not only in big tech or big corporations, as many of them are, of course, but not all of them are. There are others who are in very critical positions in hospitals, at universities, research institutions, school districts, federal, state, and local government agencies also have H-1B visa holders. Okay, and so this is a big deal, and it's going to have huge implications for their budget, for their ability to hire the workers who they're seeking, and other problems that they're going to face. Now, here's the other point that this USCIS memo points out is that um, again, this is prospectively applied to petitions that had not been filed before September 21st. And it says this proclamation does not apply to aliens who are beneficiaries of the petitions that were filed prior to the effective date of the proclamation, are the beneficiaries of approved petitions, or folks who are already in possession of a validly issued H-1B visa, non-immigrant visa. But here's the other thing that folks are not really speaking about, okay, that related to this topic that I think you should be aware of. And let's just get this off the screen. The proclamation, friends, also advises that the prevailing wages, the levels, be revised. We're expecting what revised means is increased. So employers will face new wages that are higher than what they are currently. And so that's a budget issue for companies. So that's coming, bigger fees, bigger impact to companies. And then secondly, guys, DHS, through this proclamation, they're directed to prioritize the admission of higher skilled, higher paid workers. So in the next lottery in 2026, they are going to be selecting individuals who are on the highest end of the pay scale. All right, they're going to be selecting the higher paid wage earners in the 2026 lottery. So be aware of that as well. That's also through this proclamation. So more changes, deeper impact to employers and companies across the United States, including government agencies that rely on H-1B foreign workers. So this is where things are currently with the H-1B proclamation that was issued on Friday. We're expecting more information to be shared from the government about this. They held this one really close to the chest. We were all blindsided by this. A whole lot of people didn't see this one coming, and so So the agencies really weren't that prepared with all of the regulations and how all of this is going to be implemented. We're expecting more information about its implementation to come in the days ahead. So stay tuned, okay? That's the H1B issue. And I'm happy to answer questions once we get to our Q&A segment about this. The second big issue that you should know about is the fact that the gold card is worse than I thought. That's the news, the update. It's worse than I thought. End of story. I was so annoyed in my Friday video. You guys can tell whenever you see me hold my little mic like this, and I'm like, here's what's going on. This is crazy. That's how you know that I really hate something. And this gold card is it. This is this is coming out. We're expecting sometime in December for the application process to begin with this gold card, and it is a $1 million gift that foreigners can provide to the United States government. The Department of Commerce will be managing this and making decisions related to these gifts, these applications. And this is, friends, this is a pathway to citizenship because folks can adjust their status and then obviously later on be eligible for citizenship. So it's $1 million gift per person. And if it's an employer or a corporation who is sponsoring an employee, it's $2 million for that person. And then there's an additional $15,000 vet-in fee that's also required. That's part of this. The Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, said that the goal is to bring in extraordinary people at the very top and just replace the bottom quartile, replace the bottom, those on the bottom, right? With these extraordinary people. The Commerce Department will be running this, as I've said, and this is, in my opinion, I just hate this gold card, but it's in December that this is coming out. I'm not sure what else I need to share on this one that I had not shared in my Friday video to you guys. I think that's it. I think that's it. If I can remember something else, I'll come back to it. And then the last piece, guys, before we get into your Q&A, has to do with the fact that border czar Tom Homan, it's been reported by Reuters and other news sources, MSNBC, that Tom Homan accepted $50,000 in bribery during a bribery sting operation last year. A recent investigation by the Justice Department was closed. The Trump administration closed this after Homan was recorded as recorded, I think on video, I don't know, recorded as accepting $50,000 cash payment from an undercover FBI agent. And the probe, which began during the Biden administration, alleged that Homan, who was a private citizen at the time, but he was on the campaign trail with the president, was soliciting bribes in exchange for, wait for it, it's always the same, in exchange for future government contracts. And there were sources familiar with this is what Reuters is reporting. Reuters is reporting that sources familiar with the matter say that Holman indicated he would use his influence to help the agents who were posing as business contractors secure government contracts related to immigration enforcement if Trump won the election. Now, FBI Director Kash Patel and others have said that they did a full review, and that review found no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing and dismissed the probe as blatantly political. So there you have it. There you have it. So this is, I think, maybe more to come on this one as the press, maybe they'll stay on top of this one or I don't know if members of Congress are really going to put pressure to go deeper in oversight of the Department of Homeland Security and what they're doing. We'll see how our elected officials are going to treat this very issue. Now, with that being said, friends, I'm going to jump over into the live chat. Okay, we're going to have some, go through some of your questions. All right, let's go through some of your questions. I was looking for the contact information. Okay, what I will add to the broadcast, firstly, is this is the contact information regarding the lawsuit, the H-1B visa policy changes lawsuit that is being worked on right now by attorneys. So this is the contact information if you would like to be a plaintiff, based on the criteria that I shared with you from the lead litigator, he emailed me this last night. This is the person you'll need to email today, okay? And if you email us at McBeanLaw.com, that's email us at info@McBeanLaw.com. We will also point you to Johnna, and you can have your further discussions with them as they're coordinating things. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Hey there, Kathleen. Good to see you from Michigan. I appreciate you being here today with me. Adrian, nice to see you. Good to see you from Atlanta. Excellent. Tanisha, awesome. Thank you. TikTok, thank you so much for being here as well. I appreciate you guys today. This is our Monday. Someone on TikTok is asking, what is the email address for the lawsuit? We're going to, after this broadcast, we'll add a story. Okay, we'll add a story to TikTok with the contact information so that you could email Johnna at a Visa Law at Greg Siskin's firm. Okay. All right. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. I'm a lawyer in Brazil. I am out of status. Okay. Out of status. Is it possible to legalize through EB1 or even EB2? The most important thing that you've said here certainly is I'm out of status. And I think you know that as an out of status individual in the United States, you won't be able to do any of these employment-based processes unless you can get a waiver approved, and you might be eligible for the waiver if you have a parent or a spouse who is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and then you can file the waiver, the I-601A waiver, and once that's approved, you'll be able to finish your process, but it will have to be back at the U.S. Embassy in Brazil. So the process can work. Raz is asking, do we work on U visa cases? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You'd start off with a consultation with us, okay? Thank you. New York City is in the house. Awesome. Freedom now, Michael. Freedom now. Let's go back down a little bit. Let's see. Okay, someone says here, I got cheated by the immigration lawyer. He didn't file my EB3 because I was out of status. I got out of status. So I was wondering if I could apply for the U visa as a victim of justice of obstruction, because he provided fake USCIS letters to convince me not to go to law enforcement. That's something. Okay, so in order to do the U visa process, there has to be a qualifying crime that we can find that the government says qualifies for something like this. Crimes such as, you know, like harassment. It could be something violent as well. It could be kidnapping. It could be what are the ones I'm thinking about though? Uh, Hold on a second. Let me just pull it up because all weekend I've been thinking about H1B. All right. Let's see. There's U visa. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. The ones I'm thinking about, blackmail. That's what I was actually thinking about. If there's any degree of blackmail that's involved here, then you might have a U visa case, or extortion. That's the other one I was thinking about. Yes, then there's obstruction of justice. Potentially, obstruction of justice is on here. I'm now realizing that. I didn't know that before, as I was reading your question. So I wanted to check to make sure that it's there, and it's there. You might have something. You can talk with us one-on-one, and we'll go into it a little deeper with you to see whether you meet the standard here. All right. Do we handle asylum cases? Yes, we do asylum cases. So you could contact us to see whether you do have an asylum case. All right. Let's see. Do I have any updates for the F2A category? The F2A category had made great advancement in the October Visa Bulletin. So go and take a look at the October Visa Bulletin, because there's good news there for the F2A category, which is the category for those of you who are green card holders filing for a spouse or a child who is under 21 and unmarried. Okay. So there's great advancements there. Freedom Now, Stephanie, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm asking about an I-130 petition I filed for my daughter in 2019 because of the backlog. No visa is available yet. How long is the process when you're filing for a daughter? Now, if I'm assuming that this, Sandra, this is an adult daughter, that you're a U.S. citizen, maybe. I don't know if you're a green card holder or U.S. citizen, but it does take several years to file for an adult child. Okay, check the visa bulletin for the precise dates on what the government is up to now. But it does take several years, 8 years, 7 years. Josette, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you. Ketley, thank you for being here as well. Let's see. Thank you. If you're joining on TikTok, double tap the screen. Military parole in place is still in place. Okay. Why is ICE allowed to detain immigrants at the courthouse in front of their lawyers? Lawyers cannot stop ICE from conducting their law enforcement work, okay? Otherwise, they would be at risk of a federal offense. And they are not going to put their license on the line in that way by interfering. And so lawyers typically try to sort things out after the fact, after the person has been arrested. Then the lawyer can, help to either get that person out of detention if possible, or file various motions to challenge constitutional problems, or any other issues on the immigration side. That's how lawyers can be helpful. Lawyers are limited when a law enforcement activity is going on, and you guys should just know that we're not, lawyers are not, can't say you cannot, just say to ICE, you cannot arrest this person, and based on X, Y, and Z reasons, and ICE will say, oh, okay, we won't arrest this person based on X, Y, and Z. It just doesn't work that way, not under this very aggressive environment that we're in. But lawyers definitely are winning the fight on the back end through arguments in court and otherwise. So we have our place. Thank you, guys. Good to see you, Miriam. Thank you for being here. Can a business owner legally hire I-10 workers at this time with this current administration? RB is asking. So RB, it's, it's just individuals. Let me back up, because I'm also very politically correct, as you guys know, sometimes. Employers need to obviously work with qualified people, right? People who are authorized to work in the United States, people who have either a U.S. citizenship, a green card, or a work permit. Now, if these businesses hire various contractors, they contract with an LLC or whatever the structure is to carry out various functions, that's very much legal. There's no obligation under our law that if you have a contract with an organization that or a sub, they're subs for you or something like that. There's no real legal obligation that you go run everyone's social security numbers for contractors, 1099s. That's just not a requirement that is under our law. So businesses follow the law. Follow follow the law. If this is an employment W-2 relationship, well, there's the I-9 requirement under the law that requires employers to verify employment opportunities. Now, I will tell you, here's what the government is doing now, though. They are, for people who they're really going after, they are sending out these letters to the various LLCs that some individuals are part of, and they're asking that the owner of the LLC provide the I-9 information for people who claim to work there. So just be aware that that's going on as well. That is going on as well. Freedom now, guys. All right. This is a super chat. Thank you, Margot, for the super chat. Margot says, what happens if I have an interview coming up, but the petitioner is in jail with charges of moral turpitude? Will my case be denied and possibly detained? So the petitioner has a problem. The petitioner is in jail. The petitioner won't be there at the interview. They're not going to hold you. They're not going to hold you responsible for what's going on with your petitioner. I would try to get that interview rescheduled because you shouldn't go there under these circumstances. I just wouldn't go. I would have it rescheduled. There's a way that lawyers can notify the government about something like this and to have your case be held kind of like in abeyance, so to speak, held temporarily until your petitioner is back out. Certainly you could speak with us about maybe that process, but you don't want to just go and your petitioner is not there. The I-130 process has to be handled very carefully these days, because if not, then individuals can be detained by USCIS at their field office. So speak one-on-one with an attorney, Margot. You might have one already. If you'd like to speak to us, we could speak with you about this process. Okay, if you have a petitioner, guys, Margot's question has made me thought about this point. If you have a petitioner who has a criminal record, just know that nowadays too, USCIS is calling in more petitioners for biometrics for fingerprints. So that's happening more now than we had ever seen in times past. But if your petitioner has a criminal record and that record includes an outstanding warrant, then your petitioner could be arrested at this interview. They are looking at both petitioner and beneficiary now on the criminal side of things. They want to know who is coming in and who has a criminal record so that they could take further actions. Someone is asking, why are there rapidly changing? Why are they making so many fast changes to immigration? Why the rapid? We saw this coming a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. I said to you guys, things are about to get really serious with immigration because of the Project 2025, the Trump 1.0 history that we have. We knew they were coming with a big force, and they did. They came back very, very, they're prepared, and they're really making their impact. Hey there, Nicola, good to see you. Thank you for being here. There are instructions on how to submit your I-485. Oh, by the way, friends, just know that USCIS, I did add this to my story. USCIS is now accepting PDF, a PDF version of your application. It can be submitted to them. I don't know exactly how that works, but there is an update from USCIS about the fact that they accept PDFs. Yeah. So just keep that in mind too. Go look for that update, and it is on their social media. Any updates on birthright citizenship in the Supreme Court? We're expecting that they will be hearing this issue this fall, actually. So there's no update on that yet. Birthright citizenship, a ban on birthright citizenship it's not in effect. Okay, so children who are born today are U.S. citizens. Thank you, guys. If you have a testimony, Precious says, I have a testimony. That's great. Thank you for that, Precious. Share your testimony. We're going to capture your testimony and mention it next week. I will not be able to go through some of the testimonials that you guys sent last week because I covered the news in detail today, and I'm mindful of the time. We have 3 that we wanted to share today. We'll add them to the next live. So please go ahead and share your testimonials. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Freedom now. Type in freedom now. Rahul is asking any representation of your law firm in Minneapolis. We do represent people in your city, your state. We work nationwide, all 50 states. And there are times when we have to go local, meaning that we have to contract with another qualified immigration attorney locally to assist a client with certain things if needed. But yes, we work nationwide. Thank you for joining from Nigeria. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for your program. I provided some information actually to an African tech media outlet this morning. So I'm hoping to get some information to Africans actually. African audience. We help a lot of African clients. So we have been working with Africans over the years, but this was the first time in a very real way a credible media source reached out. So I was happy to help provide information about the H1B problem. Thank you, thank you. That was this morning. Do I think withholding of deportation can be overturned? I think that can be overturned. I don't know. I don't think it can be overturned. They could very well try to get things moving again with folks, because with this withholding, technically there is a removal order. The government has just made the decision not to deport you to your country, but it doesn't mean that they can't send you to a different country. So just keep that part in mind with folks with who have the status of withholding. Thank you, Ify. Good to see you. She says, well done. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's keep going. With any representation in Georgia, yes, we have clients in Georgia. We also do removal processes in Georgia as well. For any questions about how long I-130 and such will take and all of that, certainly check the visa bulletin and check USCIS for the information. Let's see if we could just focus on substance today. Let's see. For those of you who are new to me, thank you for being here. I'm Latoya McBean Pompey, an immigration lawyer in New York, working with clients nationwide at McBean Law. And I'm just having a Q&A session. I covered news earlier. We'll be replaying the news stories that I shared, including about the H1B. I don't see any questions here really actually about H1B. There's litigation that I'm helping to share information about, communicating with the lead attorney who is heading up the litigation. I shared some very valuable information earlier today about how you can get involved in the litigation if you're a prospective plaintiff. So watch the replay that we'll share later today, and then also check my stories for the email address of the person you'll need to email to get you onboarded for this. And I forgot to mention that I know they're doing this pro bono, the litigation related to H1B. In the beginning, it's pro bono, which is great. So keep that in mind, pro bono. All right. I don't know if things will change. Things might change. I don't know. I haven't asked Greg about that, but I do know certainly at this stage it is pro bono. Okay, let's keep going. What is the best route to immigrate to the United States? The best route is the route that you qualify for. Andrea says, I missed my green card interview notice in February of 2024. My lawyer called USCIS about it. Now I got a letter to appear in immigration court. I'm in removal proceedings. What can I do? Well, the first thing that you'll need to do is certainly if you're going to stick with your attorney, make sure that your attorney has experience with removal, that the attorney was able to maybe get folks out of removal in the past, has a track record for getting folks out of removal or defending people in removal all the way until the end successfully. Removal doesn't always end successfully, and we all know that as lawyers, and you should know that too. It doesn't always end the way that you want it to end, but the more experience you have on your side, as far as your attorney is concerned, the better. So drill down and find out whether this person can take you to where you need to go. And then and if that person is not there on the experience side, you could reach out to us. We'd be happy to work with you to see what we can do for you with your removal defense. If you still have a good case, green card case, that is, it can still work out for you. Don't lose heart. You might still be able to get your green card. It's just that now that removal is on the table, it's just going to take a little longer and it's more complex and more expensive to get you the green card. But don't lose heart. You could reach out to us for an appointment, Andrea, so that we could talk with you further about your case. Guys, her story, her issue or problem is starting to become more common. The government is aggressive with placing folks in removal. The backlog is significant in immigration court. Millions of people are tied up, and they're still trying to add more people to the immigration court system. But don't lose heart, because for some of you, you might be able to get through. If you have a very serious criminal record, like an aggravated felony on your record for which you've served time in prison for, and they arrest you, and you also have a removal order, obviously, then yours is a case where most likely you're going to be deported. But most everyone else, you might be able to fight the case. Okay. You might be able to fight it. And if you see any paper behind me, this is a USCIS memo about the H1B proclamation, clarifying some things. And then this is also the Caroline Levitt tweet related to the H1B. There's nothing confidential that you're seeing behind me right now. So just an FYI. Type in freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Bangladesh is in the house. Hey there, Farouk. Thank you for being here. Ahmed, thank you so much. Abigail asked if we get denied for naturalization, can we reapply? You might be able to. It depends on the circumstances about why did they deny the case, right? That's where we would start. Why? And whether you should go again with it, or whether you should wait, whether you have to wait, I should say, based on the existing law. So we'll look at the reason for the denial and give you that answer. I have traveled with my EAD card, my parole, travel parole twice last year before the change of president. Would you advise me to do so now? JK is asking. JK, I think it's still okay to travel on advanced parole for most people if you don't have a criminal record, if you're not in removal. Yeah, if you don't if yours is a case where you're not close to getting a denial, then I think advanced parole travel is still okay. As you guys know, I have not been hearing a lot of things related to um, travel and people being detained, particularly on advanced parole. But don't travel if you're in removal proceedings for sure. Freedom Now, Marietta, thank you so much. Um, do I expect the F2A category to become current in November? I never make any predictions about it. I never spend any time thinking about that. So I don't know. I just wait like everybody else to see what they've done. Sometimes it goes ahead, it moves forward. Like right now, it advanced in a nice way in October. Sometimes it retrogresses. So I don't know what they'll do. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm answering some of your immigration questions. Let's see. I was approved in 2011. If I go abroad, will I be deported when I come back to the United States? So JC, the question is a little confusing. You were approved of what in 2011? And when you go, what's abroad? I'm not sure what you're asking there. I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Let's put that back. What's going on with the Dignity Act? Any progress? There has not been any progress with the Dignity Act. Can you change your court presence from in person to online? Yes. Yes, you could file a motion for a WebEx hearing with the court, and then you could have your hearing from your attorney's office or from your living room or kitchen table once that motion is approved. Freedom Now. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Um, let's see. Is it okay to move around the country if your asylum case has been denied? I think traveling around the United States is not a significant problem right now, domestic travel. My mom has been here for over a year now. She entered on a tourist visa. Can I file for her? If you're a US citizen, you can file for your mom, and that process can be very straightforward and easy for her. Hopefully, they'll approve it in less than a year. She's an immediate relative of a US citizen. Freedom Now, Freedom Now. Good to see you. Is teaching considered national interest waiver in the national interest of the United States? Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we've even helped teachers from Jamaica who are in rural parts of the country teaching kids in those rural areas. It's in our national interest to have qualified teachers in those areas where they have a shortage of teachers. With respect to the context of the H1B $100,000 fee, yes, there are some exemptions that are noted in the proclamation. I think it's still very much unclear who all will be exempt from this, I just want to see further stronger evidence from the government outlining exactly who they're talking about specifically, and so that I could answer your question about whether the $100,000 fee would apply or not. But if you're already here with your H1B visa, you're not impacted by the fee at all. The proclamation is for 1 year, and it could be renewed. It's going to be challenged. I've spoken with you earlier about the lawsuit that will be filed and how to get in touch with the firm that is working on that lawsuit so that you could be onboarded if you're a prospective plaintiff based on what the lawyer shared with me late last night that I read for you guys. I'm not going to read all of this again. It's a lot. We'll share the replay. Watch the replay. Freedom Now, guys. Freedom Now. I went to the I-485 interview with my wife and everything went well, and the officer told me everything is approved. And this was in May of this year, and nothing. They haven't sent me any approval letter yet. What is going on? It's possible that you'll get your approval any day now. Okay, let's start off with the positive. You might just get it tomorrow. Who knows? We'll see. If that happens, definitely email us to let or message, not message, I'm sorry, add a comment to let me know that it worked out for you. Or, on the other side, something might have come up during the interview or during a review by a supervisor after your interview that caused them to say, wait a minute, let's just take another look at this, or this one issue. It could very well be something like that. Don't worry about it yet. Don't worry about it yet. Just give it another couple of months. Certainly, if you want to start talking with an attorney about what could potentially be going on, you can do that. You could reach out to us. We could talk with you about what we're thinking. Someone says, I have been going to the ICE office to check in every month. My case is in deportation, but I'm trying to apply for my work permit. My lawyer is trying to get me the order of supervision. Will that be helpful? Absolutely. You're going to need that in order to prove to USCIS that you're eligible for the work permit based on order of supervision. But you say your case is in deportation. Do you have a removal order? You should, because you're now checking in. So you have a removal order, you're checking in with ICE, but you also need to have that order of supervision as proof that you're eligible for this work permit. Freedom now, guys. Freedom now. Let's see. Can I move to Canada if my USA asylum is denied? You'll need to speak with a Canadian immigration attorney about that. JC, you're welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, Georgia. Good to see you. Oops, I just lost my place. I have a removal order. I have a removal order in 2027. I think that's a mistake. Okay, so this person says, I have a removal order. I'm about to marry my fiance, but I have a drug charge, which was a felony, and it was reduced to a misdemeanor with a year probation. But I got a clean record otherwise. What should I do? What should you do? You could speak with us one-on-one, Phil. Speak with us one-on-one about whether you should jump in now with immigration. Sounds very risky to me. When you mentioned you have this drug charge, even though it was reduced to a misdemeanor, sounds like it started out very serious, and USCIS will see that when an I-130 case is brought to them. You could potentially be arrested and deported. So you should you could speak with us before you pull the trigger with the I-130. I see that you only have the fiance, you're not married yet. If you do decide to marry her, have us or another immigration firm look at your background very carefully before you file an I-130 with USCIS. Freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Let's see. Go up here, go up here. Oh, great. Okay. Someone says that I tried to get an appointment with you, but I couldn't. I got one with another attorney at your firm. Hopefully, I'm in good hands. Yes, you are in good hands. You're in great hands, as a matter of fact. You're in great hands. It wasn't easy. I don't make the hiring decisions very easily, okay? So you're in good hands. Double tap the screen. Let's see. My parole ends in December. Do you think I have time to get married and be safe? Well, remember, you're not, obviously, you be careful with your intent there because getting married for immigration purposes is considered wrong. It's wrong, and the government calls it marriage fraud. So you don't want to participate in marriage fraud. Be very careful about that, your intent there. And I don't know what kind of parole you entered under. You could very well be eligible to adjust your status. Most likely you are, but focus in on your intent and that you're getting into this marriage for the right reasons and not just to get a green card. I see that someone was approved of citizenship. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm watching from Jamaica. This is my first time communicating on your channel. I'd like to know about work sponsorship program, if it's applicable to Jamaicans. Yeah, Jamaicans who are qualified are able to get work visas, and they get work visas all the time. They get the seasonal work visas, the H2B. Some come in under the E2 program, professionals and others. They come in that way under that visa and set up their business here, and it's nice for them. Others come on the H1B. Like I said, teachers, they come in on that. So it just depends on the program and your qualifications. Others come in as students and then they transition to a work visa. So it depends on your background, okay? And it doesn't discriminate, our government doesn't discriminate based on your nationality in that regard. In that regard. In that regard. Okay, let's go. What will your advice be to an undocumented person without a criminal record who is scared to get out and live their normal life? What would my advice be? It's the same as what it was last year this time. Live your life. Don't be afraid of what you're seeing, but you have to know your risk level. Understand your risk level. Where am I in terms of on this scale that the government is looking at? Do I have a criminal record? You say, no, I don't have a criminal record. Do I have immigration fraud on my record? Do I have an application in with immigration right now, but I know that there's fraud on my record related to marriage fraud, and I have this case pending? Well, then you should be aware of the fact that the government is actively looking to arrest these individuals at their interview if that's you. If that's not you, okay, then your risk level drops significantly, and then you get lost in do I have a removal order? If you don't have a removal order, again, the risk level goes down, and then you get lost into this pool, this big pool of millions and millions and millions of others like yourself who the government is it's impossible for them to target everyone at the same time. So they are prioritizing. And if you happen to be in a place where there's a raid or there's a traffic stop, a checkpoint, if you're in Washington, D.C., or now soon to be Memphis, and maybe there's a checkpoint and you're pulled over or you're on your way to work in a landscaper's truck, and they pull everyone over, and they then discover that you're not lawful here, well, then you'll have a problem, and then they will place you in removal proceedings. But other aside from those types of occurrences, you're part of that big pool of people who they are not targeting directly at this time, okay? Because it's virtually impossible. Although I did see recently, not although, but I saw recently that ICE is making progress. The department is making progress with its hiring. They are very aggressive with their hiring, but it's things take time to gain traction. All right. Thank you, YouTube and Facebook and TikTok, for being here today. Let's see. Other questions before we go. Our contact information, we can be reached at 914 898-9488, or you can see the phone number in the bio there on TikTok. On this channel, I have there are so many TikTok pages or accounts out there with my face on it, so be very careful. This is the one that you're to interact with. If you have not started following me yet on TikTok, follow and turn on your notifications. Also, if you'd like to stay updated with the latest immigration news and insights, sign up to our newsletter at mcbeanlaw.com/subscribe. We sent out a terrific story last night to our subscribers, the #1 immigration newsletter. Thank you guys for subscribing. And by the way, we have free resources on our website. Go to mcbeanlaw.com/free, where you'll see information about what you should do if you are, how does the removal process works, what you should do, how to handle marriage petition cases and other things like that. I also have a course that that you guys are signing up for now. You're buying the course on how to prepare for your green card interview if you're married. Okay. Let's see if I could pull that up real quickly here on the screen. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'll give it a try. Let's go here, and I'm going to give it a try on this. It's been a long time since I did this. I think this is how it works. Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, so this is, if you go to latoyamcbean.mykajabi.com, you will see my green card interview prep for couples course. It launched last week. You guys are registering, signing up. Thank you for doing that. It's 23 videos. You'll be able to complete it in 1 hour, and we have worksheets and key takeaways for you, and I cover a lot of information and questions, and I've even thrown in 100 potential green card interview questions that couples normally get. So sign up for my course so that you will put yourself in the best possible position to get that green card. I think I'm finished, right? That's it, right? I think I'm done. As I hear my stomach started to growl. That's when I knew. That's how I know. I fasted no breakfast this morning. And so I'm hungry. I have consultations starting very soon. So I'm going to grab my lunch, and then I will have client meetings and go home to my 2 fat dogs. They're so fat, but it's okay. They're blessed. Guys, thank you. Again, the lawsuit, the H1B lawsuit that I'm helping to spread the word. The lawyer last night sent me information. They're looking for plaintiffs. They're looking for individuals who have not yet had their H1B petition submitted. If maybe you're an F1 student intending to apply for H1B, that could be you. They're also looking for employers who file or intend to file the H1B petition, but you're facing uncertainty because of all these fees and the fact that also the prevailing wages are likely to go up. You could be part of the lawsuit if you're an association or a trade group and your members include people like those I've mentioned who have not yet submitted their H1B petition and are now facing uncertainty, and then other stakeholders who likely will be harmed by this policy. Guys, you can reach out to Johnna at the email address that we've provided there. Okay, it's it's jmain, MAIN Bailey, BAILE at visalaw.com, and we placed it in the chat. And for those of you on TikTok, we will add this to our story after today's broadcast. Thanks so much for being with me, guys. Reach out to us at McBean Law at 914-898-9488, where you can meet one-on-one with us to discuss your immigration problem. It was great being with you today. Stay tuned for videos also on this channel that I'll be filming. I don't have anything in the hopper for you yet that I'll be filming and sending out to you. And follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for daily reels and information that we share. Thanks so much for being with me, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.